What's up, Yankees universe? KOD Nation, stand up. And all you Degens, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to a very exciting episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. It is Wednesday, October 19th, 11 o'clock in the morning. And my people's in the chat, how we doing? I already see I got Mikey Mazza and the 4 Train Express is in the building. What it do, Mikey Mazza? And of course, my brother from the land of the Knicks world himself, DADSJ Delano, still Jr. What it do, baby? Eric Wallace, what's good, my guy? And of course, my man Jigga Man Porto. Yankee fans, we are here. We are here. Yankees won Game 5 of the ALDS against the Cleveland Guardians, which we should have won, regardless of whatever you want to say. But the Yankees win it in 5. And now we head over to Houston to face our rivals who, since 2017, it was 2015, the Yankees first matched up against the Astros in the ALCS. If you guys remember, Dallas Keuchel was the one who went on short days rest and killed us back in 2015. And then 2017, we already know what happened with Jose Altuve. And now we here, 2022. It's time to get some revenge. In the last 8 years, the Yankees have matched up with the Houston Astros 4 times in the ALCS. 4 times. Houston had our number, or 4 times. One thing that we can say and we can agree on that is on paper, Houston may be a better team on paper. But you don't win games on paper. You win games on the field. So that's why I'm coming out early with an early prediction that the Yankees will win this series in 7 games. Oop, I got LI Yankee King is in the building. What it do? Mr. Frankie Rivera. Hey, yo, Frankie. What's good, my man Carlos? What it do, baby? Hope all is well, Carlos. Hope all is well. Yeah, like I was saying, we gotta take this series in 7 games. 7 games, right? Yankees are sending out Jameson Taillon today. Houston is sending out Justin Verlander. Now, when it comes to this, on paper, you would give it to Houston, but the last game that Justin Verlander pinched against the Seattle Mariners, he ain't looked that good. So let's see if that translates over. They've had some days to rest. I get it. They won their first 3 games. They've been resting, waiting for us. Maybe the days off will maybe rust up or take some of that energy out the offense. There's only one way to find out, and that is tonight. When Jameson Taillon takes the mound, Jameson Taillon is going to try to invoke the spirit of Jeff Suppan from 2006 in the postseason. But honestly, game 1 coming off of this rain out situation. It benefited the Yankees in this first round against the Cleveland Guardians. Garrett Cole was able to pitch 2 games. Nestor Cortez was able to pitch 2 games. And now we're throwing out J-Mo in game 1, Severino in game 2, Garrett Cole in game 3, and Nestor Cortez in game 4. Those are our first 4 starters. J-Mo, Severino, Garrett Cole, and then Nestor Cortez. But big shout outs and credit to Nestor Cortez coming back on short days rest, being able to pitch how he pitched. Shout out my man Pinstripe Crowd. My man Tats called it yesterday. If you guys remember, Tats came on and he called it. Tats said Nestor's going to give us 60 pitches, and he gave us 60 pitches on the dot. My man Tats. Yo, Tats, next time you got to come up with the lotto numbers, bro, so we can split it. Because, times is hard. We're trying to go to some Yankee games. But what up, Jigga Man? Jigga Man and myself will be on the Pinstripe Chronicles podcast tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys tune into that. It's going to be around 9 o'clock in the morning. Jigga Man and myself will be on. And, the Yankees winning game 5, Tats, I think this, we could avoid some awkwardness. We don't got to worry about talking about the Guardians and the Astros and the ALCS. It's going to be the Yankees and the Astros. And yeah, Tito Francona, Terry Francona, for all the flowers we gave him, for all the credit we gave him, he said the blind squirrel finds a nut now and then. But Terry Francona, we gave him so much credit, right? We gave him so much flowers. We talked about how he's so much of a better manager than Aaron Boone. But yesterday, he wet the bed. He should have never started that pitcher Chevalier. He should have never started. And I get it. You're not going to start saying Shane Bieber. I get it. You want to be very, you want to have kid gloves on with your ace who's been coming back off of injuries. I understand that. You should have went with your bullpen. You had a rested bullpen. You should have started with. You should have had a bullpen game. But no, you threw out a kid out there that he only got one out. Gave up the 3-run bomb to Giancarlo Stanton. And let's talk about it also, guys. It's going to be tricky to see what they do. Are we going to play Stanton in left field and DH Matt Carpenter? That's a possibility. Are we going to put Oswaldo back in left field and have Peraza play shortstop? One thing for sure is IKF cannot play shortstop for this team. I'm not sure if you guys saw it last night, but I think IKF has the yips. If you notice that last play, he didn't get good position on it. He basically stabbed his glove at it. That just shows me that something's not right with IKF up here. I think the fans are getting to him. I think and it's the wrong time for it to show. So if you're the Yankees, Aaron Hicks, we don't want to see injuries happen. That's one thing for sure. We don't want to see injuries happen, but he's going to be out for the next 6 weeks. His postseason is done. So if we got to bring back up Peraza to fill in that void, to have him play shortstop and have Cabrera in left field, you do it. But when it comes to IKF, I do not think IKF is right at shortstop. Guys, go rewatch that play from last night. Go rewatch that game from last night when IKF came in. Go look at the plays he tried to make. He wasn't good. Mazza. I don't think IKF will be fine. I think his days at shortstop are done. Cabrera is a way better defensive shortstop. Peraza is a way better defensive shortstop. We in the postseason, especially against the Astros, we cannot allow the Astros to get extra outs. You don't want any team to get extra outs. But in the postseason, if you allow a team to get an extra out, extra, opportunities, they're going to make you pay. And this Houston Astros team, they have a track record of making us pay in the postseason because of our blunders. Now, I know I talked about putting Stanton in left and having Cabrera play shortstop, but I'm even scared of that. The only reason why I bring it up is because I want to see Matt Carpenter getting some at-bats. One thing about the Astros is I believe they only have one left-handed pitcher coming out that bullpen, if I'm not mistaken. Matt Carpenter could do some real damage in this lineup against the Astros this series. And I'm calling it right now. Yankees are winning this series in 7 games. 7 games. The formula in which we do that is we win every 3 games in the Bronx, and we just still won away in Houston. Shout out to my man Chris. What it do? What it do? Yeah. Just like I said, we don't know what we're going to see out of Justin Verlander tonight. Is it the Justin Verlander that's going to win the Cy Young for his regular season? Or is it the Justin Verlander that seems to struggle in the postseason? You saw it his game against the Seattle Mariners. If you look back, his last start in the postseason with the Detroit Tigers, it wasn't that good. He had some solid postseason runs with the Houston Astros, solid, nothing crazy. But when you look at his last start, that's a bit concerning. Yes, they have that number 2 starter, who is Framil Valdez, who is just phenomenal. He's someone you have to keep an eye on. He the way he just pauses and he messes with the hitter's timing. He had, I think it was 23 consecutive quality starts or 25 consecutive quality starts. That's good. That's really good. And the Houston has it lined up perfectly with Verlander number 1 and Framil Valdez number 2. And the offense that Houston has, they're not a team to sleep on. The bullpen, you could kind of say the bullpen's the same when it comes to the Yankees and the Astros, right? That's one thing we could say. The bullpen for the Astros is not as strong as the Cleveland bullpen. It's not as strong as the Mariners bullpen. They only got one lefty coming out that bullpen. So if we could get through the starters and eat at the bullpen in the 6th and 7th inning, we'll be in good shape. But the key word is eating at those starters, getting high pitch counts, getting Justin Verlander in trouble early and attacking early for Justin Verlander. Shout out to my man Chris the Flash is in the building. What it do? Frankie Rivera said after 6 months of IKF at short, now Yankees realize he isn't the answer. Something happened last year when they realized after 5 months that Glaber not answered at short. 100% agree, Frank. This falls on whatever happens this series. The shortstop situation falls on the front office. And I said this yesterday when I was having a conversation with Tat. I'm going to say this again when it comes to IKF. I do not blame IKF for what's happening at shortstop. I do not blame IKF. For this reason and this reason alone. IKF is not making a lineup. IKF is not penciling himself in at shortstop. IKF didn't go out there and trade for him. That was Brian Cashman and and Aaron Boone who makes the lineup. That's who it falls on. I understand IKF is an athlete, right? I understand that, he's just a human being just being told to go out there and play shortstop. He's doing it to the best of his ability. When it comes to preparation, Tat and I, we spoke about it yesterday. We broke it down. IKF, when you go to the games, and I've been to several this season, if you're there early, IKF is on the field taking ground balls at shortstop. The first one that's out there. This entire season before the young kids came up, when IKF hit the ball, put it in play, he was the only one on this team busting it down from home plate to first base, 60 yards down, 60 for whatever it is. He was the only one on this team before them young kids came up. It's not IKF's fault. It's Brian Cashman and it's Aaron Boone. Mr. James Cook is in the building. NYY News TV, what it do? My man Pete Simonetti, what's good, baby? James Cook says WRC Plus and WOBA are more accurate measures of how batters truly perform. Judge WRC Plus equals 163. His WOBA 407. Alvarez 193 WRC Plus with a 462 WOBA. That's a lot of words and a lot of different wobas in between that statement. But yeah, the difference between Alvarez and Judge is Alvarez, he's not scared to extend his strike zone and go out of the strike zone and mash a home run, right? I've seen highlights and plays of Alvarez that he's literally golfing a ball from below the strike zone out as a home run. So that's the thing about Alvarez. He has that Vladimir Guerrero control when it comes to the strike zone and that scary control of the strike zone. Now with Judge this entire season, the first few games against the Guardians, he was extending himself out of his strike zone, out of his comfort zone, and it burnt him, right? 7 or 8 strikeouts in his first 10, 11 at-bats. That's not good. That's definitely not good. But as the series went on, he started going back to what made him productive, going back to what made him Aaron Judge. And that was recognizing the strike zone, right? And understanding I'm not going to expand and help the pitcher. Now, it may be a bit frustrating because you want to get that home run. You want to knock in some runs. I get it. But Aaron Judge, he's the type of player that we understand, and I trust him to find himself. Granted, before we play the game, the series against Cleveland, the Yankees did have about like 4 or 5 days off while they were waiting for the wild card series to be done before starting their series against the Guardians. So, not sure if that played into a factor because the offense kind of looked sluggish the first 2 or 3 games, and then they picked it up afterwards. So let's see what happens tonight. And of course, if you guys haven't checked the thumbnail, you saw that baby on the thumbnail, Josh Naylor, baby, Josh Naylor. Now, when we started this series, Josh Naylor, he's the batter that I feared the most for the fact of that man is an absolute psychopath. He is an absolute nutbag. He is a psychopath. When he hits a home run, Jesus Christ, the energy he has. But at the same time, that's his best attribute, and at the same time, it's his worst attribute, right? It's a hit or miss with that because your fans are going to love it. But you saw the Yankee fans last night was letting them have it. Now he's going to have to hold that L, take that L, wrap it up, foil it, put it away and hold it for the rest of the offseason because you're going to be at home holding that L while the Yankees are in the ALCS. Now, before I go over the stats from yesterday, I want to ask you guys, I'm put it in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. When it comes to a ALDS MVP, who are you giving the MVP to? It could be Nestor Cortez coming back on short day's rest. It could be Giancarlo Stanton. It could be Harrison Bader, who had 3 home runs. Or who I'm picking Garrett Cole. Both starts, 6+ innings, both wins, 8 strikeouts. To me, it's Garrett Cole. Hands down. Oh, my man Mazza, Garrett Cole and Harrison Bader. There you go. Some Cole MVPs right there. I see you, baby. My man Tat says, Judge is a different level hitter. He'll take the single and double if that's how he's being pitched to. Exactly. Judge doesn't, when he tries to extend himself and go out of the strike zone, that's when he hurts himself. But we've seen it. If you guys have noticed, and for the season, Judge is batting almost 350 with runners in scoring position. It's 348. He's batting with runners in scoring position. He had a bomb yesterday to right center field. Basically almost in the same spot that Giancarlo Stanton hit that ball. But let's look into the stats. Hold on. And I'm going to start off with the Cleveland Guardians, right? So for Cleveland, you had Stephen Kwan, who, he had over 440 this series. Stephen Kwan was 2 for 4. Amer Rosario was 1 for 3 at shortstop. Jose Ramirez as well. He hit 400 in the postseason. He was at third base. He was 1 for 3. Oscar Gonzalez, SpongeBob, he was 0 for 4. He's been hitless ever since that walk-off hit he had, in Game 3. Josh Naylor was the DH. He was 1 for 4. Arias, the first baseman, was 1 for 4. Andres Jimenez, the second baseman, was 0 for 4. Austin Hedges, the catcher, was 1 for 2. Miles Straws in center field was 0 for 4. Now you got Aaron Savall, who started, which I said was a bad choice. They should have went with their bullpen, but Savall, he started off for the Guardians. He only got 1 out in the first inning. 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. My man Frankie Rivera, he's picking Harrison Bader as his MVP for the ALDS. All right, copy. Now the lefty, Henches, he came out. He threw an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Stephan, the right-hander, came in. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, 2 1/3 of an inning, no hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Now, Karinchak, the guy with, who loves playing with his hair, he pitched 2 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And Emmanuel Clase pitched the inning in the third, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Savall being the losing pitcher of record. My man Jonathan is in the building. What it do? He said, who would you choose to replace Hicks? A little while ago, we was talking about it, different ways the Yankees can go about this. I think the extra man that will be called up to replace him on the roster, it should be Oswald Peraza. You could go many different ways. If you're playing in Houston, you can have either Matt Carpenter or Giancarlo Stanton start in left field, have Cabrera be the starting shortstop, and later on in the game, around like the 7th inning, you can move Cabrera to left field and have Peraza fill in that shortstop for the rest of the game. That's a good way to go about it. In Yankee Stadium, that's when it may be a bit trouble because in Houston, Minute Maid Park, I believe is the name of the ballpark. In Houston, left field is pulled in left field. It's a shorter left field than the rest of the ballpark, right? But at the same time, I do not want Stanton out there and him getting hurt. His bat is just too valuable for us in the postseason. When it comes to the postseason, Stanton, He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare. He literally just sat on the pitch on the outside and just poked it into right field. The most minimalist effort that anyone could possibly have. He just poked it into right field. My man Frank Rivera said, I couldn't believe booing and negative comments from the so-called fans towards Judge after the way he carried this team. Yeah, but one thing you got to know about New York City is it's what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? Yeah, 62 was cute, but the first 2 or 3 games going 0 for 11 with 8 strikeouts ain't the cutest thing in the world. Shout out to my brother Jay Boogie. Salute, 3 capital S's. He said, shout out to the chat and the P Nerd. Corner like no other. Subscribe, like, and support the channel. After that home run, Cole gave up. He shut everything else down. After that, let's go NYY. Absolutely, Jay Boogie. That's my man Jay Boogie. The one and only. Fireman Ed has nothing on Jay Boogie, I tell you that. And with the Knicks season starting tonight, ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait. But my man Jay Boogie is a legend in the Knicks universe. If you guys don't know who Jay Boogie is, I say it over and over again. What Fireman Ed is to the New York Jets is what Jay Boogie is to the New York Knicks, if not more. My man Jay Boogie, you know, he does a lot of work with Knicks Fans TV, you know, man on the street. I've seen Jay Boogie, random people walk up to Jay Boogie just because they recognize his voice when they listen to Knicks Fan TV. And Jay Boogie, he is just so warm-hearted and just such a genuine person. I love that man, and I've been a big fan of his from day one. Unc, I love you. Salute, Unc. But yeah, back to these Yankees. Now with the Indians, I mean the Guardians, I get stuck with that. It's a bit. Listen, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Stop making fun of me, please. But over to the Yankee side of things. So let's look over to the Yankees now. Yeah, Gleyber Torres, who, yes, I understand he was 0 for 3, but in that first inning, that walk that he took is what set up that first inning, that big first inning. Now, one thing is, I wasn't in love with Gleyber Torres leading off because Gleyber Torres, he doesn't take that many pitches and he doesn't walk. Yesterday, it's exactly what he did. That first inning, he walked, and the rest of his at bats, I understand he didn't get a hit, but he still worked the pitcher, 5-6 pitch at bats. That's all you could ask for. My man Jonathan said, would you pitch around Alvarez? 100%. I'm giving Alvarez the Barry Bonds and Aaron Judge treatment. I want Bregman to hurt me. If I'm going to have anybody hurt me in that Houston Astros lineup, it's going to be Bregman. It's going to be Alex Bregman. I'm not letting Alvarez hurt me. No way. I'm pitching around him. Doing the best I can to pitch around him. But like I was saying, back to this lineup now. Gleyber Torres was 0 for 3. He had that key walk. Aaron Judge in right field was 2 for 4. He had that bomb. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman, was 1 for 3, had an RBI single. Giancarlo Stanton, the DH, was 1 for 4. Josh Donaldson at third base was 1 for 4. Ozzie Cabrera at shortstop was 0 for 4. Harrison Bader was 0 for 1, but he had a couple of walks. Harrison Bader had some really good at-bats yesterday. Jose Trevino, our amigo, the catcher, was 1 for 4. And Aaron Hicks was 0 for 1, and he had a nasty collision in left field with Oswald Cabrera. Don't like to see injuries. I've said this multiple times before. I do not like to see injuries. Aaron Hicks, you know, we beat up on you this entire season, brother, but I don't want to see an injury, and I want to see a player go down because of it. He came out of the game, and it looked like he was crying when he was coming out of the game. He felt something. He knew something was off. And Yankees got the evaluation. It's a knee injury that's going to take about 6 weeks to recover from before he can do any type of baseball activity. So his season is done at the moment. And that may be his last at bat or his last time playing in Yankee Stadium as a Yankee. Just going to have to wait to the offseason. But now over to the pitching side of things. Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, the mustache assassin. He pitched 5 innings, 3 hits, one earned run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Jonathan Lasagna pitched 2 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Mr. Clay Holmes, He pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and Wandy Peralta. Is this our new closer? But Wandy Peralta pitched the inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. The key when it comes to Wandy Peralta is Wandy pitched in every game in this postseason. Every game he pitched. Those rainouts helped Wandy out a lot, but Wandy pitched in every game. It's credit to Wandy Peralta for going out there. Let me check the chat. Michael Caputo was in the building. Mr. Sox himself. Caputo's what it do. He says Yankees versus Astros. Yankees in 6. Yankees needs to conquer their demons once and for all. Absolutely, Caputo. I'm burning some incense right now as we speak, Mikey, right? So I'm burning those incense so the Yankees can exercise their demons. We need to finally conquer our demons when it comes to the Houston Astros. But Michael Caputo, what it do, baby? My man Tat says Vader's Vader's patience at the plate is going to be a difference against the Astros. Absolutely. Trust me, I got the correction. He said, I heard DJ, Ramon Renaccio, Oswald Peraza, and Montez will be on, but no Andrew Benintendi on. That sucks. I heard Renaccio, I heard Peraza, LeMahieu. They still saying LeMahieu is questionable. From what I was just reading on Twitter from the blue check marks, DJ may be a bit questionable. And Frankie Montas, hey, if we could get something out of Montas have had great numbers against the Houston Astros. I'm not going to turn that down. I'm definitely not. But yeah, Andrew Benintendi, apparently Andrew Benintendi had a setback. He had to get an injection again in his hand. So yeah, I don't think that Andrew Benintendi is somebody that we could count on for the American League Championship Series. Now, if we advance and get to the World Series, that may be a different conversation. Let's see. Jonathan, my man, Jonathan says Clay Holmes looked like pre-All-Star Clay Holmes yesterday. Yes, he did. And that's one thing I want to talk about. If you saw, that command was back, that break on that slider was back, and the movement on his sinker was back. And my man Keith Saunders is in the building. Who's your daddy? Indeed. And my brother Steve Schumann. Mr. Steve, what it do, baby? How about those Yankees? Indeed, baby? Oh, I got somebody new in the chat. Buford Bahobitz. I apologize if I butchered your name. I apologize. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for contributing to the chat. He says, let's go Yankees. If the Yankees lose the series, I will burn my jersey. Listen, Buford, we gonna have to exercise our demons against the Houston Astros. I've called it. The Yankees are winning in 7. We got to win all 3 games at Yankee Stadium, and we got to steal a win away from Houston at Minute Maid Ballpark. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I think it's going to come down to the Yankees bullpen. Which bullpen is more reliable, the Yankees or the Houston Astros? And we've seen it in the 5-game series against the Cleveland Guardians. I talked about it right before the playoffs start. With this new playoff format, not that many days off in between, you need to utilize everyone that's a part of your lineup, everyone that's a part of your roster, every arm that's a part of that bullpen, right? So with Ramon Renaccio coming back, I hate to say it, Miguel Castro, you're gonna have to hit the bench. You're gonna have to get off the roster to make room for Ramon Renaccio, right? This is like the trade deadline, right? We get to that next round, we get to add some guys, so we may get to, we're gonna add Ramon Renaccio. Nothing is official yet. Nothing has come out official yet, but Ramon Renaccio, extra arm in that bullpen, a trustworthy arm in that bullpen. Now, with the lineup, how are we going to maneuver things? Are we going to put either Matt Carpenter or John Carlos in left field at Minute Maid Ballpark? Have Cabrera play shortstop. Then later on in the innings, move Cabrera to left field and bring in Peraza to play shortstop. I do not think IKF is the answer going forward at shortstop. No way, Jose. Caput says Judge has to have a monster series against Houston. Yep. 100% agree with that. He had 200 against the Guardians, 2 home runs. He's going to need to do better this series around. That's one thing I could say. That's one thing we could agree on, Caputs. And Judge does have better ALCSs than he does ALDSs. That is an absolute fact. If you guys remember, you guys can look back into it. But in 2017, that ALDS round against the Cleveland Guardians, Aaron Judge I think he went 2 for 18, right, with 10 strikeouts in that series or something like that, to a degree. Or I think he struck out 16 times in that series against the Cleveland Guardians. But it was a horrible division series Judge had. But when we played Houston, he had a way better series against Houston. He had a couple home runs. He had that big double that started that rally that Gary Sanchez got that double into right field that Didi scored. Yeah. And yeah, Caboose, Judge has to be MVP. Judge has to be just like Alvarez for the Houston Astros is going to be their MVP. Judge has to be our MVP. Point blank, period. I believe Judge will be fine in this series coming up, but at the same time, hey, if Judge doesn't show up, he's going to get them boo birds. And that's just, I understand this entire season you were a god for us. If it wasn't for Judge and his season, the Yankees probably wouldn't be even sniffing the playoffs right now. But we got here. Now we have to finish it. We can't just be happy with just getting to the playoffs and getting to the championship series. We have to go past it. Aaron Boone fired if the Yankees lose to Houston. Listen, regardless of what happens, I can't stand Aaron Boone. Buford, just know that. I'm not sure if you're new here, but I can't stand Aaron Boone, right? Whatever happens this postseason, whatever happens, the only way Aaron Boone isn't fired in my books is if the Yankees win a World Series. So if the Yankees win a World Series, I'll shut up. I'll shut up to 2023 until Aaron Boone, I start coming around and he needs to be fired next year. He said, I don't see IKF or Donaldson and maybe Torres on the team next year. Yeah, all three of them. All three of them could be options to be used as a trade package, especially Donaldson. Donaldson's contract is just horrible. The Yankees may just have to eat that and hold that L. But yeah, that's a horrible contract when it comes to Donaldson. My man Keith said, Houston has sat for some days. Seattle was able to take the lead on Houston in both game 1 and game 2. Probably so because of the delay. Now they are delayed again. We still a game in Houston. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Listen, Keith, if Jameson Taillon could come out tonight, and I'm going to keep on saying this, if he could be Jeff Suppan from 2006, you remember when Jeff Suppan was pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals in 2006 when the Cardinals beat the Tigers in the World Series? Jeff Suppan was unhittable. He was a free agent after that offseason. He got the bag with the Milwaukee Brewers. That's the same thing Jameson Taillon is trying to do right now. Jameson Taillon is on his walk year. Jameson Taillon is being counted on as a big contributor, a part of this rotation. Jameson Taillon has to go out there and be what Jameson Taillon was the first 2 months of the season. A control pitcher who was able to get outs and be dominant. We're going to need Jameson Taillon to tap into whatever he was doing the first 2 months of the season and bring that out there tonight. So I don't care what you have to do. If you have to, get your Wheaties, if you have to eat your Captain Crunch with some, with some lactate milk, whatever you did those first 2 months, do the same exact thing, my man. Aaron Boone cough sounds horrible. Does he have TB or COVID? No, Aaron Boone suffers from COPD. Aaron Boone suffers from COPD. He has early stages of COPD. That's why Aaron Boone's voice sounds like that. It's not COVID or tuberculosis or anything. It's COPD, which is basically a coronary pulmonary disease or whatever. I forgot the O stands for, but it's basically building up liquid inside your lungs. And it's real bad, especially if you was a smoker at an early age or if you was chewing tobacco at an early age. A lot of people who smoke cigarettes and chew tobacco when they're young wind up with COPD. But yeah, that's what Boone has. And Boone has aged. This season has aged Boone horribly. I noticed it yesterday when he was. Now I'm not sure if it was just the camera quality from TBS, but I was noticing Aaron Boone is out there looking like Baby Yoda in the face. Like he was out there looking horrible yesterday. I'm not sure if he was just tired or whatever, but yeah, he was looking tough in the face yesterday. Altuve is 0 for 16 in the playoffs. Oh God, that's not good. I don't need Altuve to get hot against us. I really don't need Altuve to get hot. But guys, it's 11:35, right? We got the pregame tonight. I mean, we got the game tonight. So how about this? Let's have a special open panel. I'm gonna put the link into the chat. If anybody wants to jump on, let's have the open panel. We got some new people that's in the chat, some new subscribers. Appreciate all the new subscribers as well. We are on our way to 2,000 subs. We at 1.8 right now. Let me see. All right, so I'm putting the link in the chat. Like always, the ground rules are the ground rules. If you're gonna come up here, please be respectful to everybody. If somebody is finishing a statement, you let them finish. You'll get your turn. Let's all just try to be respectful. Because at the end of the day, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. But I'm gonna bring my man in, Mikey Mazza, in the fortune. Mikey Mazza, what it do, baby?
What it do? What it do?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Oh, by the way, I just want to put this out there. Garrett Cole was the only ace that didn't get lit up in the ALCS.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again. What you said, Mikey Mazza? One more time for the people in the back.
Garrett Cole was the only ace that did not get lit up in the ALDS. Every other ace, Luis Castillo and Justin Verlander, got lit up.
Yep, you are absolutely right, Mikey Mazza. And 2 starts in the ALDS. Garrett Cole, 2 runs each outing. It was phenomenal. That's ace-like stuff. That's what we need. And of course,
That's
Michael.
exactly what we need.
Yeah, Mikey Mazza with the daddy daycare duties. I see you, baby. But yeah, when it comes to this series, the ALDS, Garrett Cole showed up. I know a lot of people was coming at Garrett Cole trying to downplay him, but Garrett Cole showed up as the ace, and that's all we could expect for him. Now he just needs to carry that over against the series in Houston. But I'm gonna bring in my man Michael Caputo. Caputo is in the building. What it do, baby?
What's up, Caputo?
How you doing,
Caputo, what's good, bro? Yo, Caputo, you keep calling me a Mark, bro. I'm gonna come through that. I'm gonna come through the computer screen and whoop your ass, bro.
But
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. Caputo, how you feeling, baby? What's the feeling like in Long Island right now?
Yeah, the feeling is great. I mean, we're in the ALCS finally, and now we're gonna play the Astros. The Yankees have to finally conquer their demons and beat this team. I want to once and for all end this curse that we can't beat the Astros every year. I'm so sick of hearing that we can't beat Houston. We have no chance. I think the Yankees have to finally, it's put the pedal to the metal and beat this team.
Yeah,
once and for all, beat them and shut up the Astro fans too, because they said that 2017 championship wasn't tainted, but it was tainted. They didn't even win it.
Yeah, a shout out to my man Jason from 16 Run River Ave. Listen, Jason, if you're free right now, I'm putting the link into the chat. If you want to jump onto the panel, you're more than welcome to. Fritz Walter is in the building. Mr. Fritz, what it do, baby? But yeah, I agree with you, Michael Caputo, 100%. And you came in as me and Mikey Mazza was talking about it, but what's your thoughts on Garrett Cole? First 2 starts in the
Garrett
postseason.
Cole has he's won me over. And you know the way I felt about Garrett Cole. I mean, Garrett Cole was unbelievable. I mean, 2 great games, just absolutely. He was astounding. I mean, he was lights out. I mean, the starting pitching has been amazing. I mean, I hope they do this against the Astros too.
Now, this is something that I keep hampering on, but Jameson Taillon tonight. I'm gonna need Jameson Taillon, if you remember, because I keep saying it. You remember Jeff Suppan back in 2006 with the Cardinals?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need Jameson Taillon to turn into Jeff Suppan.
Right?
He almost has the same amount of pitches when it comes to a sinker, curveball, and changeup. It's the same type of pitcher.
Oh, and another pitcher I think he needs to turn into also. I don't know if you remember. You remember Jeff Weaver? Not Jarrett Weaver.
Yeah,
Jeff.
Yeah. And with the Cardinals as well.
He pitched great with the Cardinals, so he's got to be a Jeff Weaver or a Jeff Suppan.
Either or. I'll take either or. Jameson Taillon, whatever he was doing in the first 2 months of the season, we're going to need that from him tonight. But Mikey Mazza, I'm going to start off with you, brother. For tonight's game against the Houston Astros, right? Nothing's been announced. Nothing has, is made official right now. But with the Aaron Hicks injury, how are you maneuvering this lineup? Who are you putting out in left field, and who are you putting at shortstop, more importantly? Go ahead, Mazza, and throw it over to Caputo after you're done, brother.
All right. I'm putting Matty Luigi Carpenter out in left. I'm putting let's see. I'm gonna have Peraza start at short. Kind of give IKF a day off to kind of regroup himself. And then I'm putting, let's see. I'll probably keep Donaldson at third just for his defense, not his bat.
Okay. All right, Kaput, same question going your
the
way.
changes
And
I would
Mikey
make-
Mazza, I'm gonna just mute you just for there you go. And Kaput, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, the changes I would make absolutely is Oswald Peraza. I want to see this guy on the roster. He has to play. I don't want IKF at shortstop. And now with Aaron Hicks out, I'm guessing Beta's going to be in center still.
Yeah.
Judge is living right. So you got to have Oswald Peraza on the roster. And I heard the news about Andrew Benintendi. It's a shame because I really wanted him back.
That was a bad setback that he got, but I got somebody that I want to bring in. My man Jason from 161 River Ave is in the building. What it do, baby? That was a bad setback that he got, but I got somebody. That's good. Oh, if you could just mute the YouTube stream in the background, because I could just hear the YouTube stream. If you could just mute that from your end. Setback that he got, but I got somebody. Good. Oh, in the background, because I could just hear the YouTube. There you go. But yeah, my man Jason is in the building. This panel right now is looking kind of cool, kind of great. But to your point, Caputo, and probably Jason, let's see. Oh, Jason got to unmute himself. To your point, Caputo, when it comes to Benintendi, and probably Jason, let's see. If you could just close out the YouTube tab that's open, Jason, my fault.
Yeah, that's not mine.
Yeah, that's Jason. He got the YouTube tab open.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you perfectly, brother. Everything all good, all good. Jason, what it do, baby?
What's up, man? What's going on, fellas?
Chilling, bro. Yeah, same question going your way. You know, the AL DS is over. Now we're starting game 1 tonight. Who are you putting in left field? Like, what are you doing with this roster if you was Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman, Jason? You know, always got to get your insight.
If I'm them, I'm adding Peraza to this. Okay, to the roster. We know Hicks is done for the rest of the postseason, so that's going to be Peraza's spot. Personally, I'm playing IKF at third. I'm sitting Josh Donaldson, and I'm bringing him in for late inning defensive replacement. The reason why, I mean, they're both elite defensively at third base, but IKF gets on base more. Sometimes I feel like the Yankees wait for the big hit for Donaldson and nothing else, and they don't get it very often. So IKF, to me, is always part of manufacturing runs, whether it's on the base, stealing base, or whatever. So I'm starting him. I'm playing Oswaldo Cabrera in left field, Bader in center, Judge in right. Cabrera, if you look at his stats, he plays better offensively when he's in the outfield compared to when he's at shortstop. So I want Peraza's defense at short, IKF's defense at third. It's a more athletic team. The fact is, we're going to need all hands on deck against the Astros, man. I mean, they're going to have to be as athletic as possible. We're going to need our defense needs to be on point. Our base running needs to be on point. We have to figure out a way to out Astros the Astros. Like they had to figure out a way to out Guardians the Guardians. There's no shot at the Guardians. They're a great team, but this is a different beast with the Houston Astros.
Yeah, 100%. Keith, what it do, brother? I see you over there excited. You got the green screen going in the back. You just feeling yourself right now, Keith. Let me know how you feeling ultimately, brother. You out, Mazza? Later, baby. Later, my guy.
All right.
Oh, Keith, I can't hear you, bro. Audio's messed up.
I had myself muted. Sorry. Good morning, gentlemen. How's everybody feeling?
All is good, brother. Good morning, baby.
Oh, it feels like Christmas Eve, baby. It's gonna feel like Christmas Day when we beat these dudes in 6. I promise you. Oh man, I'm happy for this team. I'm excited, man. It feels good. I think they needed this more than a sweep. I think if they would have swept Cleveland, they probably would have had the little, we were supposed to beat these guys thing. The fact that Cleveland pushed them to the edge a little bit, I think that sparked them and woke them up. I think they'll be a lot more competitive with Houston now because of this. It being pushed to game 5. And just like baseball, you need timing. I mean, we played how many days and how many games in 12, 13 days, it's not normal. So it was good that we were able to get, games going and rolling, and Houston sitting on their butt cold and we're warm. So hopefully we can, make some noise tonight.
100% agree. I'm gonna throw this around now, Caputs. I'm gonna start off with you. Now, Keith brought up a good point. With the Yankees going 5 games, the Astros going 3 games, they're rested. We're trying to find whatever silver lining we're trying to find. But when you're looking at when you look back to the Yankees offense, the first 2 games of the series, they look super stale. It looked like a stale offense for the first 2 games. Do you attribute that to those 5 days having off, waiting in between from the last game and waiting through the wild card series? With the Yankees going 5 games into the division series, is it giving the offense more time to catch themselves? What's your thoughts on that, Caputs? And then throw it over to Jason and then Keith.
Okay, yeah, I think it has something to do with it because they were off 5 days, and they got too much rest, and then there was the rain out. But the Yankees, as a lineup, they have to do more, like besides hitting home runs, because it seems like they're very one dimensional, and they have to like manufacture runs, not always going for the home run, like just make contact. That's the Yankees' problem. That's why they strike out too much. And like I told you, getting DJ LeMahieu back is going to be very key in the series because he's supposed to come back. So getting his bat in the lineup is going to be huge. And you got to have all these guys back to beat Houston, all of them. Like, and Judge, I expect him to have a huge postseason. So, yeah, I think the layoff, the 5 days off, definitely did something to their arsenal of the offense.
Okay, Jason, same question going your way. What's your thoughts with the offense for the first 2 games? Do you think this 5-game stretch woke them back up?
I think the stretch woke them back up. And I think there's something to be said, like Michael said it too, about having a long layoff and being a little bit stiff. But you're running into a different type of machine too, where the team's strategy is going to be different in the postseason as it is in the regular season. So you don't know what to expect from these guys. So having a layoff and then, planning for ABC, but then you're looking at DEF and you're like, oh, damn, I wasn't ready for that. So I think it's a combination of the two things, but I think the Guardians were not ready for some of the things that the Yankees threw at them. So and it just benefited the Yankees. And again, I think they beat them at their own game, but then they also added the dynamic of the power, which the Guardians don't really have much of. And their pitching lined up. Garrett Cole was Doug. He was great white shark and water. These guys were like chum bait for these guys. So this dude was ready, and I expect him to continue this now to be money Garrett Cole for the rest of the season. So I think it's Michael he makes a good point. The layoff, I think it affects a lot of teams, but I think it'll affect teams differently. Like we may not affect the Astros at all. You know what I mean? Because their team is just that good and that young, but they have more playoff experience than the Guardians do as well. So they know how to respond to layoffs. They know how to be more ready after a layoffs. So I think it's going to benefit them. And then the fact is, like, I don't think the layoff's going to affect Jose Altuve. He went 0 for 14 in the ALDS. It means absolutely nothing because he always plays the Yankees well. So so I think it has a different effect on certain teams. For some reason, it affects the Yankees. They always wind up kind of with a slow start, but I think this team is ready to kind of rebound from that and keep it going. And I like the momentum that they're going into. They're not going to lose any of it by playing tonight.
Yeah, great. Yeah, 100% agree. And yeah, that Altuve is kind of scary. 0 for 14, 0 for 16. I do not want him to get hot going against the Yankees. Keith, same question going your way. What do you think about the days off and the offense finally finding themselves? Go ahead, brother.
The days off is frustrating, but I understand it because of the lockout. You know, they had to maneuver some type of scheduling for these guys. Hopefully they can go over this in the winter meetings and when everybody meets to really figure this wild card thing out as far as those separate missed days. But for us, it kept us stagnant because I think that game we lost, game 2, was 4-2 that we lost. It was right there. You seen we weren't in the box. We weren't taking good at bats. We were swinging at balls in the dirt. It was just nasty. But I guess those rain delays did us a favor, and it was able to extend us and give us what a week of baseball feels like because we haven't experienced that since late September.
Yeah.
I think we'll be good. We got the momentum. Hopefully, they're not hung over tonight because we was popping that bubbly in the dugout. I'm excited.
I think they all woke up. They got a bacon, egg, and cheese. They got an Arizona green tea before jumping on that plane before going over to Houston. That's what they need to get over that hangover. Exactly, some good old Bustelo. But you guys make great points, right? But when it comes to this series, right, the Houston Astros, right, and you look at the Yankee team, there's only 3 players from this Yankee team that is left over from back then, and that's Aaron Judge, Luis Severino, and Gleyber Torres. Those are the only 3 Yankee players from that 2017 team, right? When you look at this team and you see how good, I don't think Gleyber Torres was even on that team. No, because he came up 2018. So it was literally just Aaron Judge.
Who's got second base then?
It was Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, and Luis Severino. Those are the only 3 players from holdovers from 2017. I understand this is a new team. This is a new Astro team as well as a lot of new players from the Astros. Caputo, do you think
Kyle Tucker's scary? Do
you think the Yankees or do you think the Yankee players they're worried about 2017 or are they focused on right now and the series that's at hand?
No, right now, definitely. And I wanted to give a shout out to Harrison Beta. That dude is oh my God,
a Yankee legend.
Yeah, he's carried this team. And Stanton, I got to give props to Big G. I mean, he's doing his thing. Stanton's always clutch in the playoffs. These guys are not in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and I want to see Aaron Judge do that. I want to see what Stanton. I want to see Judge do what Stanton does in the postseason. I mean,
but you pointed out earlier, Caputo, when it comes to division series. For his career, Judge hasn't had like really good division series. They've been poor, but when it comes to the ALCS, the championship series, that's when Judge is hitting over. In the ALCS in the championship series. Sorry, Keith, I just muted you for a second. But Jason, I'm gonna throw this question to your way now. When it comes to this bullpen, Ron Marinaccio is coming back. Wandy Peralta is looking godly out there. Do you trust this bullpen going forward? And has Clay Holmes? Has he won back over your trust?
Before I answer that, Starlin Castro, 2017, second baseman.
Starlin, yeah.
The way I look at it right now is the bullpen. It's a three-headed monster. But I'm not talking about the DMC days where you had Dellin and Chapman. These guys look like a tripod, not the three-headed monster. You got Wandy. In my opinion, he's the Nestor Cortez of the bullpen. Crafty lefty, absolutely gigantic balls and fearless. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you move over to Clay Holmes.
Harder than I thought too.
Clay Holmes. He looks like the first half Clay Holmes again. So I feel really good about him. And Jonathan Loaizaga. He reminds me of the 1995 Mariano Rivera. We come in and set up for Wetland. He came in and just threw 2 innings of nasty pitching. It's like, all right, I'm done. Off to the next guy. Like, that's my three-headed monster right now in the bullpen. If you add Marinaccio, you add some of these other pieces, and I do think they're going to use like Herman and Schmidt and some of these other guys Licky a little bit more often. They're going to have to for this stacked lineup. So, but I feel good about this three-headed monster heading into the bullpen. And like to Keith's point, those rain days I think helped the bullpen because they were overused a lot late in the season, early in the playoffs. So they got some of their energy back, and I think they're lined up perfectly now. So I feel good about this bullpen, better than I did before. It sucks losing King and Efros, but you get Marinaccio in there, you throw some other guys, I think we'll be okay.
Keith, same question going your way, and then throw it over to Caputs.
The question again, I'm sorry, missed it.
About the bullpen going forward. Has the bullpen won you over? Then you throw in Ron Marinaccio and Clay Holmes reemerging and coming back into form where he was in the first half of the season.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wandy has impressed me million times over. First pitcher ever to pitch in all 5 games of a ALDS. It's insane. And I wasn't, I was skeptical on Wandy because I wasn't sure if that was a real injury or if that was a phantom IL. We put him on the IL, but whatever, it worked. Loaizaga is pitching out of his mind, and it's strange because he started off slow the end of the beginning of this year and the end of last year. Glad that he was able to get back in tune and beat the old Johnny Lasagna. Clay Holmes is back to normal, finally getting that sinker to actually sink because it was dying for a few weeks. It was just flat. There was nothing on it.
Yeah.
And he's been attacking guys. That strikeout he had, Ramirez strikeout in Game 4 was ridiculous. It was like almost at his feet. He got some spin behind that thing again. I would like to see where Boone puts Marinaccio as far as will it be mid or high leverage or low leverage situations coming off that injury. I probably expect to see him in Game 2 for sure. I am not convinced on Trevino yet, but we'll see. I just don't know where he works in the relationship right now as far as, placing him in a bullpen. But I guess we'll have to see. It's Houston. Who knows, man? Yeah. I think Boone might do a lot of see 3 or 4 guys type of deal. I don't think guys are going to be doing a 2-inning unless we have a lead because they're just that dangerous. And the Crawford boxes are absurd. A pop out is a home run over there. It's going to rely on the bullpen.
To answer your question, I think what they do with Trevino and Marinaccio is those are the first 2 guys out the bullpen if we're in the 5th or 6th inning. Like those are the first 2 guys out of the bullpen. And like to Jason's point, depending on what the situation is, if the Astros are threatening to score and you got runners on 1st and 3rd in the 6th inning, you may see Jonathan Lasagna come in the 6th inning and pitch the 6th and 7th. You never know. But Caputs, same question going your way. When it comes to the bullpen, Clay Holmes coming back into form, are you trusting this bullpen now? Because with the Guardians, we could say that the Guardians had a better bullpen, but now with the Astros, I could kind of see the Astros and the Yankees, their bullpen being very much even.
Very even,
being honest with you, my main concern going into the series is the offense. That's the only thing right now that worries me because they strike out too much, and more guys have to hit in this lineup besides Beta.
Mm-hmm.
Like we need Aaron Judge. Obviously, Stanton will do his thing. Gleyber Torres, Donaldson looks completely.
Yeah, he needs to bat ninth at this point.
Donaldson is completely lost. He can't hit a fastball. He looks terrible, man. His defense is great, but his offense, he's got no bat. I don't know.
He's caught in between the fastball and the curveball. He can't hit either or. He really can't hit either or.
All he does is try to hit home runs, and he strikes out.
Yeah.
So that's my only concern right now. The offense, I'm actually sold with the bullpen. But like you said, Keith, Lou Trevino kind of scares me. Lou Trevino, he like struggles a lot. He like labors. So they got to get him right. But other than
the last month of the season, Lou Trevino was very solid for us. But a couple outings against Houston. I mean, not against Houston, against Texas. He kind of looked like he was losing control. But I still have a little bit of faith of Trevino. That's why I'm so willing to put him in early. I don't want to have him late in the game in a high leverage situation. In the fifth inning,
and I'm sure he knows Houston's at bats. He's from Oakland. He played them a lot of times a year.
Oh, yeah, and Hector, I don't expect Lucas Licky to be on this roster. I think they're going to leave him more.
Listen, you don't expect the used car salesman to be on this roster? Go ahead, Jason. Let's get into predictions right now because we're about to wrap it up soon. Give me your predictions for tonight. What do you think the score is going to be, and what do you think we're going to see out of JMO tonight?
I think we'll probably see 5 innings out of JMO. I think it's going to be. I like the fact that our aces are not lined up with their aces. I like the fact that it's JMO, then Severino, then Cole, then Nestor. I think it puts the Yankees at a pitching advantage, and I think it'll be closer than you think. I think the Yankees will make some adjustments. Now, do I expect an 8 or 9 run game against Verlander? Hell no. So I think it's going to be probably a 4-2 game, a 4-3 game, or 3, something like that. But if they can get to Verlander, get some guys on base, take advantage of opportunities. I think they're going to split the series in Houston.
Yeah, they have to split.
Yeah,
they can't go back to Yankee Stadium.
I think we win tonight, to be honest.
No way.
Yeah.
It's mandatory. They have to go back to Yankee Stadium 1-1. We can't go down because I'm going to be deadly afraid of that if we go down 0-2.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, they took the first 2 games against Seattle. But Seattle actually played them pretty well.
They were up in every game.
Yeah. And then freaking Alvarez killed them in 2 games.
I remember they beat up Verlander, but I don't expect that to happen tonight. I think Verlander's going to pitch like Verlander.
Verlander generally doesn't get lit up 2 games in a row. I expect vintage Verlander, but I think that JMO will be pretty well positioned to kind of keep them close.
For sure.
Keep them in a position for the Yankees to kind of take advantage of opportunities. But again, they have to take advantage of opportunities, not rely on the home run. You got to use all the weapons. You got to use the speed, the base running, the smart run, everything.
Right. And pitch around Alvarez.
Walk his ass half the game.
If you don't throw 100 miles per hour, pitch around Alvarez. That's it.
And to your point too, which is a good point, do that, but do not ignore Bregman.
No, he's hot.
Tucker. Don't ignore Altuve. You have a 4-headed monster there in that lineup that you have to be very smart around. So you can't ignore any of those guys.
Yeah. And I just want to answer this question real quick. Mr. James Cook, he said, you downplay the Astros bullpen 2 times. Astros had the lowest bullpen in all of baseball this year. And the Seattle Mariners had the lowest bullpen all of this year.
And then the Orioles. Then
when it comes to the bullpen, right? The reason why I said the bullpen of Houston is kind of even with the Yankees is because the bullpen relies heavily on their 4 big arms. Houston does, and that's Presley, Rafael Montero, Phil Manson, and Hector Nereses. Those are the big 4 arms that they rely heavy on that bullpen. After that, you got guys coming out of that Ryan Stenik instead of Nereses. But after that, you guys coming out of that bullpen whose ERA is over 3.5. So that's why I was pointing it out, just like the Yankees, Mr. James Cook.
I think Cleveland's bullpen was better. I think they had a more scarier bullpen, Cleveland. I'm going to be honest with you.
So when it comes to us and the Astros, they rely heavily on their 4 big arms coming out of their bullpen. And just know the Yankees, Ryan Presley has a career 8.9 something ERA against the Yankees. The Yankees own that man. If you guys remember, Aaron Hicks had that walk-off home
grand
run.
slam.
I mean,
I was going to say that
to tie the game against him. Go ahead, Jason. You have something to say?
Just wanted to point something out. You mentioned Phil Maton. He's out for the rest of the postseason.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so that's another one of their big arms that
punched a wall or a locker.
And I think he broke his hand, so he's done for the playoffs.
Oh, damn.
He had his Amari Stoudemire moment. That's what he had.
He's done.
But Keith, same question going your way. What do you think your predictions are for tonight? What's the score? What are we going to see out of Taillon? And DiCaprio, brother, please, DiCaprio, I'll hit you up on Discord so we can set something up so you could come on, because I have to go pick up my dog from his grooming appointment. I dropped him off at 10 o'clock in the morning. But go ahead, Keith.
Okay. I think J-Mo goes 5, maybe 6. I actually think he goes 6, only because he's well rested. Mentally, he was scheduled to go a few days ago, so he should be in attack mode. I think he gives up 2. I say 6 and 2. That's what we're praying for. I'll take that.
I'll take that.
It's going to be a dogfight within the first 6 innings. I think the first 5 innings determine this game of how we get to Verlander. I also think we win tonight.
Yeah, this is the game we win to 1-1.
I think we win tonight. I think we shock the world tonight and go up 1-0.
Take that too.
I'll take that too. Capoots, same question going your way, and we're going to close it out right after you, Caputo, baby. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 1-1, and I think the game is we win this game tonight. I think this is the game that we take the W, and then whatever happens tomorrow is basically like a plus. I would love to go up 2-0, but let's be real. I don't think we're going up 2-0.
I don't think my heart can take that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah. But guys, fellas, I appreciate everybody for jumping on. Jason, you always know it's an open door policy. Same with you, Keith Caputo, and you with Keith as well. Let's have this Yankee energy, baby, for tonight. Let's keep it going, bro. And for all you Yankee fans that were complaining about the Yankees need to have a dome or have a roof, it's 2022. No, I'll take the rain delays, and I'll take days with a bullpen can rest up and players can rest up. I'll take that up. Go ahead, Jason.
I don't want a dome, just like I don't want a mascot. So
there you go. I think we can end it on that. That's a good note. But I appreciate everybody for coming in. This has been an awesome episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. The Yankees go for tonight, that win against the Houston Astros. And like always, fellas, peace, love, respect, and the watch out. Peace. Okay, this always happens right when I get off, right when I'm about to get off. This always happens. Bear with me. The Yankees just announced their ALCS roster. So position players, we got Harrison Beta, Oswald Cabrera, Matt Carpenter, Josh Donaldson, Kyle Higashioka, Aaron Judge, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Tim LeCastro, Oswald Peraza is on the line. It's on the roster. Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres, and Jose Trevino. That's position players. Let's look over to the pitchers. Miguel Castro, Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez, Domingo Germán, Clay Holmes, Jonathan Loáisiga, Frankie Montas has made the roster. Wandy Peralta, Clark Smith, Lou Trevino, Lou Severino, Jameson Taillon, and Greg Weissert has made the roster. All right. Okay. Hey, ain't no Ron Marinaccio. What's going on? What's going on with Ron Marinaccio? But hey, we got Frankie Montas, we got Greg Weissert, and we got Oswald Peraza here now for the ALCS. And Yankees, let's go.